Howdy, and welcome back. So, I just decided to check my settings on the previous one and noticed that my mic was not hooked up properly in my recording software, so that's unfortunate and quite embarrassing. So let's get back to what we were doing here. So, back to what I was saying, Microsoft, back in April of this year, released a lot of career paths on their website. Now, this is interesting to me as somebody who has not had the chance to stimulate his brain in a while and is looking forward to a nice change in career or challenge, and I just want to see where this goes. So, the career path I've chosen is App Maker career path, and as you guys know, my working schedule is chaotic, so progress may be slow. It says it'll take 10 days, but who knows? So, App Maker career path has 2 milestones. An App Maker is a self-directed and solution-focused. And you work with the maker tools of Microsoft Power Platform to solve business problems. You might have experience with Visual Basic for applications, Excel pivot tables, Teams, and other tools. Although you might not have formal IT training, you're comfortable working with IT administrators and Microsoft Power Platform developers using technology to solve business problems. Now, there you go. I really enjoy it so far. Now, you'll see that I have completed some of the things already because, well, I had a previous experience going to this website, and then I was like, hey, let's go ahead and make this a series. And then I reread it. I read these 2 pages, and I was like, let's mosey on down to my software and see, am I recording properly? Are all my settings in place? Should have done it first. I'm an amateur. But I read the introduction. So if you are very interested in the introduction here, take a moment. Visit the website for yourself. I highly recommend it. And also, you can pause the video there. I did a really nice reading of all of this. Now, this is about where I stopped. So, let's go ahead and start here. We've already done the introduction. Let's do this again. Microsoft Power Platform helps make it easier for an organization's entire team to build their own solutions through an intuitive low-code or no-code set of services. It includes the following products. Now listen closely. That's Microsoft Power Apps, Microsoft Power Automate, Microsoft Power BI, and Microsoft Power Pages. Organizations can use Microsoft Copilot Studio, AI Builder, and Microsoft Dataverse to build solutions. In most organizations, individual makers don't use all components of the Microsoft Power Platform. Typically, they focus on 2, Power Apps and Power Automate. Based on the application that makers are building, they might use Dataverse and other products. However, it depends on the individual. Makers use regularly Power Apps. Power Apps is a rapid low-code development environment that app makers can use for building custom apps for business needs. It is a suite of app development services with a scalable data platform, Microsoft Dataverse, and an ability to interact with the cloud and on-premises data sources. I can read. I have a basic education. With Power Apps, app makers can create web and mobile applications that run on all devices. 2 types of application that makers can build with Power Apps are 1. Canvas applications. So what is that? Canvas apps are typically task-focused apps where makers can drag and drop different components and position them how they want to create a user interface. Others are model-driven applications. What are those? Model-driven applications, or apps, are connected to Microsoft Dataverse. Makers build model-driven apps by adding different components such as forms, views, charts, and dashboards to tables by using an app designer tool. Ooh. Ooh. As an app maker, you need to determine what type of application you need to create based on what you need it to do. The most common type of app is a canvas application because you can connect them to multiple data sources, and the user has complete control over the UI, which stands for user interface. This module explores when to use each type of app in more detail later. For more information about building applications with Power Apps, see the following documentation. Create Canvas app in Power Apps. Create a model-driven application in Power Apps, and get started using Dataverse. Now, I think we're gonna do this later on. This is just a quick overview. So we don't need to jump around and do this all now. Now let's learn about Power Automate. Organizations can use Power Automate to build automated workflows between applications and services. Power Automate helps automate repetitive business processes such as communication, data collections, and decision approvals. Power Automate provides enterprise-grade automation that makers can use across an entire organization. Additionally, it provides a user-friendly UI, user interface, for makers and individual users to create automations that simplify their daily activities. The 4 primary types of operations in Power Automate flows are business process flows. Use these flows in model-driven apps to help people get work done. These flows provide a streamlined user experience that leads people through the processes that their organization has defined for interactions that need to be advanced to some type of conclusion. Cloud flows. Most frequently used. Cloud flows begin with a trigger, such as receiving an email from a specific person or a mention of your company in social media. When the flows are triggered, they also generally include one or more actions, such as creating a record in a different system or sending an approval request to somebody. Desktop flows. These use robotic process automation, or RPA, flows to record yourself performing actions on your desktop or within a web browser. Then you can trigger a flow to perform that process for you. That is nifty. You can also pass data in or get data out of the process so that you can automate manual business processes. Now, process mining. Use process